Festive Creations by Stephanie, and I'm actually going to show you how to make some of these cute little personalized ornaments. They are so stinking simple, and the fact that they are personalized always makes them a wonderful, wonderful thing to have. We are going to show you how to make them using the Dollar Tree clear ornaments. And then we're also going to show you how to make them on the wood blanks that you can get from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to get right to work. We're actually going to start with one of the blanks from Hobby Lobby. So these ornaments actually come in a pack of, I believe, 6 from Hobby Lobby. And they're blank wood ornaments. They're kind of thick, so they're about 1/4 inch thick. And they come with the little ribbon attached. I'm actually going to remove the ribbon, and I untied it prior to coming on camera because honestly, that takes me more time than anything else, is untying that. So we're going to prep this ornament first, and we'll get to this one here in just a moment. We're going to prep this by just adding a little white paint to it. And of course, you can make your ornament whatever color you want. That is strictly up to you. If you have a family, and actually I'm going to be making some for other people, so I want to think about what their tree is decorated in, or something that would be able to be flexible for them. But for our purposes today, I am just going to paint ours white. Super easy, super simple, doesn't take much paint at all. Then we're going to paint the top of our ornament right here a black. Now, I will tell you that I did use my vinyl cutting machine to make some lettering for this. All right, so we're done painting this, and we're going to let that dry. When it's completely dry, what I'm going to do, and this is an optional step, y'all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a layer of Mod Podge on top of this, just because I feel like the letters will stick better to the surface if it has Mod Podge. So this one's going to get set off to side to dry. This one is completely dry. And I have added a layer of Mod Podge on here. And as I said, that just kind of seals it. And I feel like I'm going to be better off with having it that smooth surface on there. Hey guys, how are ya? All right, so these are vinyl letters. Now, mind you, at this particular point, if you don't have vinyl letters or don't have access to them, you can use a paint pen and now personalize this. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, you can get a paint pen at any Walmart store. This one's called a painter's pen. This one is a fine tip. They come in tons of different colors. And you can write directly on your ornament your lettering or personalize it. I'm going to use my vinyl lettering because, to be real honest with you, I'm not always pleased with my handwriting, so I'm going to use my vinyl lettering. And try not to drop it. We're just going to apply that directly to, now this is the wood ornament from Hobby Lobby. And then I'm going to show you how to make these from Dollar Tree. I'm going to add my lettering. And of course, you want to make sure it's centered and even prior to doing this part of it. Unlike me, I just put it on there a little crooked, but I'm okay with that. This is just for demo purposes. And just like that, we have a personalized ornament. Now we can add our ribbon back to our ornament. I always take it off to paint. And now we have a keepsake. So, you know, I think about my family this year. I've got all the new grandbabies and my family is growing. And I was just thinking this would be something that I could give them now as a keepsake for the rest of their lives from grandma, right? So you can personalize it as much as you want. So we just tie that back into a knot, and now we have a personalized ornament. The wood ornaments are the easiest to do because you're not working on a round surface. But now let me show you how to make one of these using the clear Dollar Tree ornaments. These ornaments come in a set of 2 from Dollar Tree. They're called a DIY ornament, and they do come in a set of 2. They're about 2 inches in diameter. And let me show you how stinking simple this is. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to remove the ornament clasp, whatever you want to call it, from there. Then, let's see, we can add whatever color of paint we want inside. So if you want your ornament to be green, if you want it to be pink, if you want it to be red or white, you can add whatever color you would like inside of the ornament. And when I did this one, I did kind of find that it was useful. Now, I normally don't use a big bottle like this. The squeeze bottles are much easier to work with here. But what I did was I just poured it along the sides and kind of let it drip down the sides. And this is kind of a critical, this was one lesson. Let me just save you a little work here. Because if you can get it to drip down the side, it covers more of the inside of the ornament. And you don't want to get too much paint inside of here. I'm going to stop right there for a moment, put the lid back on my paint. Hey, Charmaine. And now I'm just going to roll this around and let the paint cover on the inside of my ornament. You could actually put paint just in the bottom, turn it upside down, and make it look like snow as well. It's really, really fun. I loved playing with this. I did have some really thick paint for the green one. The paint was much thicker than my white paint. So I did add a little bit of water to it, and that made my coverage very even, and it was a lot easier to cover inside of it. Hey, Miss Jenny's. All right, as soon as we get this covered, and I do kind of tap it a little to get the paint to conform. I don't want to dilute the paint because, number one, it won't dry as well, and I don't want it to be transparent inside of our ornament. By the way, the font I used for this is kind of like the Ray Dunn font, but it's called Skinny. I think it's called Skinny font is what it is. All right. I think I've just about got it covered. One more little open hole back here. So now we have this completely. So we've got the paint evenly covered all the way around. Now on this one, what I did is I turned it upside down on my wax paper, whatever surface you want to, so that any excess paint would kind of drip out. I want it to dry out. So once you see how that excess paint's dripping out of there, so once that paint has finished kind of dripping out, and let me see, this one's not too bad. We can add our clip back to our ornament. Easier said than done. You do have to squeeze it back together. Now, I will tell you, the Dollar Tree ornaments, the top here, the metal top, you do have to be careful and not try to squeeze it because it'll collapse it really easy. And so we just put our top back on, and that's it. Even I put maybe less than a tablespoon of paint inside of this ornament, and you see I still have quite a bit of excess coming out. Don't overdo the paint. I hear you, Kim. Now, I know this one is still wet, but I'm okay with adding this because the wet paint will not be exposed. Get out of here, Darcy. Wouldn't these be fun to make for your kids or grandkids? As a keepsake, you could even put the year on it, baby's first Christmas, all of that fun stuff. And like I said, if you know what your receiver, whoever is going to be receiving them, if you know what color they like to do their tree in, you can actually coordinate the color of your ornaments to go along with their decor. Maybe you have someone that does the buffalo plaid, so you could do a combination of red and black. Becky, yeah, they can be a journey. So with these ornaments, I don't recommend a whole lot of letters because, as you see with my large name right here, this one would not fit. I mean, I could have made this smaller, but it would have been super small. So I actually recommend for this size ornament, and it's a 2-inch diameter, to keep your letters around 5 or no more than 6 letters. Then you're going to take your vinyl letters, and this is a vinyl cutting class. This is, so I'm not going to go into all of that yet. And decide where you're going to place it. This is where it becomes a little bit more difficult on these because you're going on a round surface. So I put a few cuts in here so that as I'm smoothing it out, it will conform with the round ornament. Kind of like we did with our snowman hat and the felt, because we're going around a circle. And I start in the center and I move outward. Get all of my letters in place. Make sure that they're adhering really well. And again, if you don't have a vinyl cutting machine or access to one, you can always hand write. And if you guys would be interested, I can actually add it to my store where you can special order names that would fit on the ornaments. Since I have the file and the vinyl and I know what size they need to be, we could actually do that if you're interested, if anybody's interested. Okay. So I've got the A, the C, and the E attached. And now we're going to do the letters on the other side. Kind of want to do half at a time. Working my way. Also, I saw a neat trick too when I was checking out somebody's blog post. You know how sometimes you'll get like the little bubbles in your contact paper. They put their hand inside of a Ziploc bag so that it didn't catch on the vinyl. It was kind of a neat idea. I get the concept, though, because I'm working with such a small area, I really felt like I could control this, and I did this one just fine. Just fine. Not a problem. We always have to have a practice win, right? But I do recommend that you don't go with too many letters. And what I can do is give you an option to get the larger Ornament cut, which this is a 3.5 by 4. It says 3 to 4 inches. Hang on a second. It's actually 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's about 3.5 inches, almost 4 inches in diameter. Where this one is half that size. It's 2 inches in diameter. As you can see, I'm trying to be a lot more delicate with this one because it's not a flat surface. How fun! And of course, personalized items always mean so much more. So there we are. We've got the piece on there. Once you get it on there, I like to just kind of hold down the vinyl again and just make sure it's adhered good. And the heat from my hand actually helps cure the vinyl. And of course, the skinny font that kind of looks like the Ray Dunn font is so popular this year and last year and the year before. And there we go. This is considered a permanent vinyl, and it cures, it will adhere, and it's a permanent stick. Have a great day, guys. See you soon. Be safe and be kind.